come online and share with my listeners. Maybe you have experienced the same thing with the WNBA, but last year I was totally traumatized. And I know trauma is like, it's kind of a strong word, but I was just really devastated and disgusted with the WNBA last year. So I just didn't watch it at all. At this point, there are so many different players that I like. I don't really have a specific team that I am a dedicated fan for. Perhaps I could say that I am a fan of my team. My city does have a WNBA team, so I guess that would be the default team that I would root for. The only women's basketball team that I'm a true like I'm 1,000% fan for is LSU. So, since I'm a true LSU fan, I follow all like the LSU players and where they end up going to the WNBA. So, when Angel Reese went to the Chicago Sky, this was 2 years ago, so this must have been 2024. Yeah, she went there in 2024. Me not being a fan of the WNBA, not really following the whole season, and not really being involved, I pretty much just followed Angel Reese to the WNBA and became a Chicago Sky fan. I became a Chicago Sky fan. I started to watch the games and, was just following everything that was going on with the team. That franchise is ran very poorly, lots of issues, lots of problems. But the type of fan I am is a very loyal fan. So even when the team loses, I keep watching. Um, there was definitely lots of moments of frustrations that season, that 2024 season. But I'm the type of fan that I will ride with you. I'll ride with you when you're losing. I'll ride when you're winning. I will stay on the bus. I like Teresa Witherspoon, who was the coach at the time. She was a developmental player, excuse me. She was a developmental coach with the Pelicans in the NBA when she was recruited to be a head coach for the Chicago Sky. I like Teresa Witherspoon a lot. She is a player's coach for sure. I like her. I love Kennedy Carter, and it was so much fun. Um, it was so much fun watching Kennedy Carter play with Angel Reese during that season, and there were a lot of pieces that they needed. They needed a point guard. They needed a couple bigs were injured that year. And at this time, the WNBA really had um the WNBA really had hold on, let me try to get this person out of the chat. Okay. Um at that time the WNBA had a really really small roster, and so there's like not a lot of room for injuries. It's like if you get injured, your entire team can have a very difficult season. They have to bring in hardship players. I feel like the Chicago Sky brought in a hardship player due to injury. Um the 2004, I'm trying to remember all the different things that took place. It was a lot. It was a very difficult season at that time. And even to this day, the Chicago Sky still don't have proper training facilities. They were training in like a public gym where the general public could come in, and they didn't have privacy. It's just been so much. And a lot of that has to do with mismanagement. And I also believe the general manager not being of women's basketball, not being an athlete themselves, coming from a high level college program or from another professional basketball league or club, and not understanding the logistics of what you're supposed to be providing the players, and just underinvestment over years put the Chicago Sky in the position that they were in. So, given all of these factors, when Teresa Weatherspoon came in, left her job at the NBA to take a pay cut and work for the WNBA, for this opportunity to build this franchise, I just think it makes sense to give a coach at least 2 years, at the very least 2 years, to try to get some momentum. When you're coming in as a coach and the roster has already been built, this roster does not have your stamp on it, right? These are not the players that you chose. This is not the environment. Like, you're coming in and you're trying to make the best of a situation that has been given to you. It is understood that there's going to be a lot of challenges, and you need time to recruit the players that you want. You need time to develop your rookies. You need time to make the trades you want. All of this stuff takes 2 to 4 years to do. They gave Teresa Witherspoon literally 1 year and fired her. Never told her why, never, just fired her unceremoniously. And, um, and then they did not sign Kennedy Carter, re-sign her for 2025. She became a free agent sometime in 2024. They did not sign her. Um, she got blackballed in the WNBA because of MAGA, and she did not get a contract that year. So she went overseas and balled out. And that's another story for another day, because Teresa Witherspoon really helped her get another job in the WNBA. She should have never been out of the WNBA. She is a phenomenal guard. Um, just um, extremely talented. She reminds me a lot, like, she and Malaysia Full Wiley have a lot in common. They're just very talented guards. She should have never been out of the WNBA. Um, but because of what Chicago did to her and MAGA, she ended up not getting a contract for 2025. Now that we're in 2026, she's back in. So I'm happy about that. But I was so traumatized by what happened. Keep in mind, I'm a new fan. I've never 2024 is the first WNBA uh season that I ever watched from start to finish, and was riding with my team on their losing streak. I mean, we had like an 8-game losing streak, and I did not give up on my team because I'm a loyal fan. I'm going to stay with my team until they get it together and start winning again. That's the type of fan I am. So, yeah, we had like an 8, 9 game losing streak. I'm still riding with the Chicago Sky. And that kind of loyalty from the fans, I'm most certainly not the only one. There's lots of other fans, because we used to get together online and watch the games together, and of course it's depressing losing every time, but we were still getting together and watching the games. So to have your loyalty be rewarded with firing the head coach with no explanation, and not signing Kennedy Carter, who put the team on her back in many aspects, that there's no way the few games that we did win, that we would not have won without Kennedy Carter, to put the team on her back and carry us to the finish line so many times, and just be a great team player. She can throw some dimes. She can also put up offense and put some scores on the board if need be. She's a versatile player. She's, phenomenal on offense and defense. She's an all-around pro and, very entertaining. She's an entertain that's why I say she like, her play reminds me of, Malaysia Fulwiley because she is, um she is, so dynamic and entertaining, and that's something that you really want to put booties in the seats when it comes to, selling tickets and getting people to watch the game. So, when that happened, I was so traumatized. I was just like I did try to watch, 2025, but it's like, I'm not watching the Chicago Sky. Like, I just felt like the Chicago Sky tore their ass with me, and I'm not over it. To this day, I'm not over it. Like, I just have a very bad taste in my mouth about the Chicago Sky. I like Rakia Jackson, who's on the Chicago Sky now. I like her. I've liked her since she was at Tennessee. She, was drafted the same she went in the first round with Angel Reese. I wanna say Rakia was drafted, like, maybe, like, number 5 or something like that, and I think um Angel was drafted, like, maybe number 9, something like that, but Angel was drafted after Rakia, and I don't remember which team Rakia went to, but, yeah, I don't remember, but I like her. I think she's a phenomenal, player. She's like a wing, with a lot of guard skills. She's just like I like Rakia. I really do. So it's like, okay, I mean, I don't like the Chicago Sky, but that doesn't mean that I don't like all the players on Chicago Sky. You know, it doesn't mean that. It's just I don't like the team. Okay, so fast forward 2025, I tried. I just couldn't get into it, you know? I'm not watching the Sky. I like Angel Reese, but I'm not watching the Sky. I did watch some Unrivaled, but I just could not force myself to watch the Chicago Sky last year. Now, there are a lot more players that I like in different, there are a lot more players that I like in different on different teams. I like Olivia Miles, who's on the Minnesota Lynx. I like, Angel's now gone on to the Atlanta Dream. Um, I love Flau'jae Johnson. She's on the Seattle Storm. Um, I think Skylar Diggins, I do like her. I believe she's on the Chicago Sky. Uh, who else is out there that I like? Yeah, there's just like now I really don't feel like I have any one team that I'm like, "Oh, I'm a fan of this particular team." Like I said, I guess my default would be the city that I'm in, like, I guess I would like them, um, but I just follow the players, and it's so interesting when I am watching a game because it's like, yeah, I'm competitive, I like to see a competitive game, but I'm usually like, I want all these ladies to win. You know, I want everybody to be successful. I know at the end of the day, only one team can come out as a winner, but I'm not really rooting against anybody, per se. Um, it's just I like to just watch good competitive games. They have changed how they're officiating the games, so we'll have to see how that all shakes out. Um, but I'm very happy that I'm finally over the trauma that Chicago put me through in 2024. And now I can move on to a new season in 2026 and support the ladies that I follow, especially Flau'jae Johnson. Oh, I like Anissa Morrow too. She's on um, She is on the Connecticut Sun. Um, yeah, I want all the and then I'm looking to the future too. Like, I'm like, it's gonna be so much fun when Hannah Hidalgo gets to the league, when Juju Watkins gets to the league. That's gonna be fun. Who else am I looking for? Michaela Williams. Oh my God. Like, we got one more year at LSU for Michaela, and she'll be getting drafted to the league. That will be a ton of fun to watch. Joyce Edwards, um, from South Carolina, will get drafted, and they're expanding. I want to say there's at least two more teams in the pipeline. Plus, on each roster, they have space for two developmental players. So that will really help out with allowing more space for people to have on the roster on their teams, and help out when there are injuries throughout the season, with having players that are already embedded in the team and know the system. So, I think that those are all good and positive things, and I'm just glad that I get to enjoy, watching the games again. And on a side note, this is the most interesting thing because I don't experience this with any other sport that I watch. It's only the WNBA. So, or in women's college basketball as well. So sometimes people will ask me like, "What are you doing this weekend?" or "What did you do last night?" And I'll be like, "Oh, I watched this LSU game," or "I'm gonna watch, you know, the Storm play the da 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 da." And they always ask me, "Oh, really?" I'm like, "Yeah." "Oh, did you play?" And I'm like, "No, not really." And it's just and they're like, "Oh, wow." People are always so surprised that I watch women's basketball, but I didn't play women's basketball. But it's so strange because if I watch a tennis match, people do not assume that I played tennis at the highest level. I watch football, you know? I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna watch Colorado," or "I'm gonna watch, you know, the Steelers," or whatever. And they're like, "Okay, cool." Nobody asked me, "Did you play football?" It's just the strangest thing to me. Um, it happens, like, 90% of the time. I kid you not. When I talk about the WNBA, people always ask me if I played basketball. But if I tell them that I'm watching hockey, I'm watching football, I'm watching, um, gymnastics, nobody asks me, like, "Were you a gymnast?" Because, you know, sports is for entertainment. You don't have to be I played basketball, like, in the driveway. I never played on a team, but you don't have to be a basketball player to enjoy the WNBA. It's entertaining because these are, like, athletes at the, um at the peak of their athleticism, and they're out there, competing and entertaining. And so I just think that's so strange, and I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that where people ask. I just think it's the strangest fucking question. Now, first few times people asked me when I was watching the WNBA, I just was, like, answering, and I didn't think much of it. I just answered them and I moved on with my life. But as time has gone on over these past couple years, that I've been watching, the WNBA, and then also watching, like, women's college basketball because I don't really watch the men's. I might catch a game here or there, especially if it's just on, then I'll watch it, but it's not like I'm, like, scheduling in my calendar like, "Oh, I need to watch I need to watch this NBA game or men's college basketball game." But, like, LSU, for example, I'll put that on my calendar. I know when all the games are, I know who they're playing, I know when the tournament is, like, I really follow it very closely. So, as time has gone on and I've consistently gotten this question, at this point, it's annoying. It annoys the shit out of me. Um, it just and I just wanna snap and be like, "Well, did you play? Like, do you watch football? Did you play football?" Like, everybody all football fans did not play football, and little league does not count, you know? There's plenty of people that watch football that have never set foot on a football field. So, for someone to be so surprised that I watch WNBA and I don't play basketball, it's just strange. It's so strange to me. So, anyway, who are you rooting for? Are you watching the WNBA this season? You have any teams that you're following? I'm so happy that Flage is in a good place in Seattle, and I'm so glad that the Seattle fan base is embracing her. Um, yeah, I'm so happy for her. Um, I like Raven Johnson. I think she's an amazing point guard. I wish she would have gone to a different team, but that's neither here nor there. I just pray that everything's okay for her, and if it's not working out, I hope that they don't make her life difficult. I hope that they just trade her to another team so that she can be somewhere that she can thrive. So, that's my take on that. Um, I want her to succeed and, you know, flourish wherever she goes because she's an amazing player. I like Cody too, McMahon, who came from Mississippi. Was that Mississippi? That's not Mississippi State. Ole Miss. Ole Miss. She came from Ole Miss. I like her. She is a really good player. Love her. Want her to succeed. Um, I'm a little bummed that Jada Richard left LSU and went to Miss Ole Miss. Um, I'm a little bummed about it. I kind of already mentally prepared that she was gonna leave the team. I don't know why, because I really didn't have, like, a concrete reason. She's from Opelousas, and I thought she might stay in Louis at LSU. But I also knew that there were rumors about her wanting to follow her boyfriend somewhere else. So, and I mean, she what can I say? She gave us good minutes. I mean, like um she had a good stretch of time. I think she had a good stretch of time, but I think that as we really got into, like, the tournament and, the end of the season where things start to get way more intense, I think that we kinda lost, and maybe Jada was just mentally checked out as well. I think we kinda lost some juice from Jada, so I wasn't gonna be too sad to lose her. I think I'm more sad to lose the idea of her. Like, I like the idea of having this Southern Louisiana, girl from Opelousas on the team, like a true Bayou Louisianan, on the team. I like the idea of that, but in practicality, like the what she's offering as a point guard, I'm like, it's not. I don't think that it's mission critical to lose that particular contribution, if you know what I mean. Because Jada's 5'7", which is small for a guard, and, but not Olivia Miles. I think Olivia Miles is like 5'9" or so. Hannah Hidalgo is 5'6", which is really small for a guard, but Hannah Hidalgo is lightning in a bottle. So she's just so fast and she's just a pest, defensively, and she's just, talk about generational players. I think that that term is thrown out, way too loosely. I rarely use it, but I would put Hannah Hidalgo in that, category just because she's someone who's 5'6", playing at this elite level, and she has, mastered, uh, like, her body and her skill set being 5'6", um, in that division, and on the team that she's on. So, I Jada Rashard being 5'7", yeah, I wouldn't compare her, apples to apples to a Hannah Hidalgo at all. So, I wish her well at Ole Miss. I kinda was hoping that I was thinking that she was going, like, to Rutgers or the Big Ten or something like that. I thought she was, like, leaving the region, but she's still gonna be in the SEC, so we still gonna have to see her. Boo to that. Although I love Coach Yo. See, like, that's what it's hard when you get into women's basketball and you just start to really like learn these ladies' stories and really respect everybody. It's hard to even have a team to root for because I like Coach Yo over at Ole Miss. I want her to succeed, but when we play her, of course I want to win. um, you know, I like Johnny at A&M. Um, yeah, so many, that I really like. But of course I want to win. And then we lost Bella Hines. I was sad about that one. Just because Bella got some really, really critical minutes as a freshman. And it was just going to be so good to build on her exposure to the SEC as a freshman, a true freshman who played. You know, she earned her minutes, and that was only gonna go up from there. But we live in a time with the transfer portal where loyalty is, um, it's almost non-existent. And my thing is like, I have two minds about it. On one hand, I don't think it's right that universities have been extracting so many resources from student athletes all these years. And I do think that they need to compensate the student athletes that have built these programs who did not have access to NIL. I think that they need to find a way to compensate those student athletes as well, um, and not just like, "Okay, well, you're here now, you get to benefit," what about the people who laid the foundation for these programs? But, with the transfer portal and with the NIL and all of that, sometimes, like players, I don't know, there's gonna have to be some type of regulation, there's gonna have to be some type of, mm, I don't know. It's just the wild, wild west right now, and it's not working for the fans. I think the fans don't like it. The fans, are left in the dark or they just don't understand why players are leaving. When players have everything that they need, they have housing, scholarships, um, the NIL money, the booster money, they're getting playing time, they're well respected, they're getting help and opportunities, like everything is in alignment, and then they just leave and it's like, okay, well, why? What was the problem? I mean, is it just an extra $10,000 or, like, wow, why are you leaving this program? That the program has invested so much in you, the fans are bought in and they want to see you come back the next season. Like, why are you leaving? I think at least that's my question. Maybe other fans have similar questions where it's very confusing why some of the players are leaving. But it's rumored that Bella Hines is leaving because her dad thought that she should have got more playing time. Which, I mean, I think that your parent is always gonna think you need more playing time. Your parent, because they're your parent, they're always gonna think that you're the most best, you're the amazing person on the room. But I mean, at the end of the day, she was a true freshman and, you really have to um, earn those minutes. And now this would have been the perfect time for her to be that guard because Flau'jae is gone, and Bella Hines could have filled that role that Flau'jae was leaving. But oh well, we'll never know because she's gone. So thank God we have Michaela Williams. I'm happy that Grace Knox is coming back. I like her. Kate Koval's coming back. We have a solid core coming back. I just think that if Bella would have came back, I mean, man, like with Flau'jae gone, if we could have got Bella back on the wing, I mean, or rather, I think she's a 2. I think she's a shooting guard or 2. But if we could have had her back, I mean, it would have just really been a great core to build around, and try to keep her and Grace Knox together, like as a unit, like that freshman core. That would have just been really great to continue to grow them. Who left? Divine. Divine left. I'm not surprised. I knew mid-season that she was mentally checked out, and I didn't expect for her to come back. Her game did not translate to the college D1 level, probably in the way that she thought it would, but not everybody's game does. And some players like Jada Richard, she didn't play very much her freshman year, and she started her sophomore year. What a jump, right? If you have some patience, then you can see what can happen between, freshman year and sophomore year. But I just think that Divine had no patience, and possibly Baton Rouge was not the city for her. Um, that's possible. Maybe it wasn't the right environment for her. I don't wanna just put it all off on, um, not getting playing time. She did get playing time, especially a lot in the beginning of the year when, Coach Mulkey keeps the schedule very light because she likes to play everybody and she wants to see how the team gels, and so she plays a very light schedule, um, with teams that are D1 but are not as competitive as the SEC, and Divine did only, I would say, okay. She didn't just dominate during that time, and she didn't really have many moments of shining like, Bella Hines and, Grace Knox did, and then we have another freshman that didn't play a lot. She's a post player. I think she's like 6'5". Her name is escaping me at the moment. Sweet girl, sweet girl. Her name is just escaping me at the moment, but she was injured this past year, so we didn't get to play her much. She should be healthy enough for this season, to get some playing minutes. I don't expect a lot of minutes out of her, but we'll see how she adapts to the SEC. And this will be a little trial year, and then maybe by the time she's a junior, she'll be really getting a lot of minutes if she can be patient and learn the system this season. Then we'll see what happens for her junior year if she stays with LSU. So, yeah, we'll see. It's great to see, the LSU players in the league, um, with Flau'jae at Seattle, Angels at in American Dream, the Atlanta Dream. Anissa Morrow is at, the Connecticut Sun. And that's all the LSU players I can think of right now that went to the league. There were some others that went in 2024, or 2023, but ended up getting cut, from the final roster. So yeah, we'll see. I'm over my trauma and I'm glad about it. And thanks for listening to me rant about women's basketball. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, bye.